Art Smart Shorties with Mr. Craig. Hey guys and gals, Mr. Craig here for another Art Smart Shorty. That's right, I'm Mr. Craig, and I represent the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Green Bay, specifically the Youth Arts Initiative, which is a super cool organization that I've gotten to be a part of. I'm super happy about that, and I'm bringing it to you live via videos. So today we're going to cover something that we haven't covered yet. Most of my lessons, all you needed before was a piece of paper and a pencil. Well, you might need something extra today, specifically 3 colored pencils. You might need a yellow, a red, and a blue. Does anybody know why I've chosen those 3 colors? That's right, it's because it's the primary colors. These 3 are the primary colors. That word primary means most important. These are the most important colors in the world, yellow, red, and blue. And the reason for that is that they make up all the other colors. So let's take a look at how we can create a color wheel using those 3 colors. Now I'm going to grab a circle and trace it so that I have something that represents a circle. And then I'm going to draw a line through the center of it. Make it lightly. I always make my lines lightly so that I can work on them in the future. Now, I'm going to cut that into 2 additional pieces, trying to make them even, like I'm making a pizza, and we're going to have everybody have an equal size piece of pizza. So if I split it like this, roughly that's the same size, although that kid got the biggest piece of pizza on the plate. And you know what? We're going to make that first kid's piece of pizza, we're going to shade that in yellow. And I'm going to go in here and make it fairly heavy. Now when we're dealing with color, there's a bunch of different words. First and foremost is intensity. So if we're actually trying to really make that look like a yellow, 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 we can use a little bit of our Hulk hands on top of the shading so that that yellow becomes very intense and very vibrant, very vibrant. The thing about yellow, there's a lot of things about color that you can really look into, but yellow is one of those colors that your human eye turns to yellow first when we're looking at something. We're drawn into that yellow for some reason. Maybe it's because it's just a pleasant color for us to look at. Next, we're going to jump and leave an empty space, and I'm going to go to my red. So, and this is kind of an orangey red when I look at it here, but it still should work for what we're trying to do. It's from a fancy Prismacolor set, so they don't really just have yellow. They have this one's called Poppy Red. So this is a Poppy Red, and to me it looks, like I said, a little bit orangey orange. But red as a colored pencil can represent a whole bunch of different things. For some people it represents anger, grrr. And then for some other people it represents love and happiness. And it can change depending on how you're feeling in different days. So all these colors can represent different things to you and make you feel different things depending on what day it is. This is a blue, but it's a peacock blue. So we have a poppy red and a peacock blue. And we'll see if they work. If they don't, I might have to do a different video with my colors. This is a little bit more of a babyish blue, but it should tend to work. And I skipped a space so that I can make a blue in there. And my primary colors, once again, are red, yellow, and blue. RGB, red, yellow, blue. And these are the primary colors in art. When you start looking at light sources, and if you're learning about light sources in science class, it's a little bit different. The primary colors in light are, let me see if I can remember them. I think it's a light green, a red, and a blue. So it's like a green when you're dealing with light. But there's also, when you're dealing with printing, it shifts over a little bit too, where it's magenta, yellow, and cyan. So this is probably pretty close to yellow, magenta, and cyan when it comes down to those basic colors. So these are our three primary colors. But now I'm going to go into here and I'm going to shade across here. So I'm going to have my darkest and I'm going to go to my lightest. From dark to light here in these empty spaces. Dark, rotate it to light. So there's a little bit on this side and a lot on this side. And it took me 3 times to get that. Okay. And then I can go in here and fix it up a little bit. Fix it up a little bit. Fix it up a little bit. Go across the top. Sharpen it up. Make my drawing look a little bit more attractive. So that it's, I've actually shaded using my colored pencil. I went from a very vibrant color to a less vibrant color, a very intense color to a much less intense color on the opposite side. I'm going to do that on both sides of this so that a third of my pizza is actually shaded into light blue. It's actually easier for me to go that way than it was the opposite way. Interesting. I don't know why. I don't know why. Maybe the nature of the pencil. But again, I want to be the closest to the blue is where it's intense. And then as it gets away from the blue, I'm going to make it a little bit less so as it goes around. And color, I mean, kids, you can actually learn about color in college. You'll spend a whole semester learning about color. There's a lot of things to really know when it comes to dealing with colors, and I'm going to try to cover a couple of those things. Not that you have to, that you'll be able to skip out of that when you get to college, some of you that are going, but it'll give you guys a little bit of a heads up as far as how you're doing that. So here we have my blue on this side, and it kind of goes into up to my yellow over here to my red. And now with my red color next, I'm going to do that same thing. I'm going to shade darkest next to the red and work my way to the yellow so that it's going to leave a bit of a space there. Leave a bit of a space there. Leave a bit of a space there. Whoops, it went a little bit dark. But let's just darken this edge and get the top. This is pretty fast, working pretty good. Working pretty good there, gang. And now here's the thing. I want to do that with another third of it. So I'm going to go over the blue with the red. And let's, hopefully my fingers are crossed, that we'll start to see some purples changing. We'll see some violet happening in that area. And it might not be perfect, but it'll give us the idea of how this works when we kind of combine colors. With the 3 primary colors, when we add red to blue, we get a violet. So here we're starting to see that. Although my colors are looking a little bit brown, I'm admitting it, they're looking a little bit brown because I'm probably working with an orangier red and maybe a bluier or a greener blue than would be the pure colors of those. But it's kind of mixing in an interesting way as it goes around there. And I'm going to put just another layer on the top just to see if it's going to work a little bit better. I don't know if there's anything I can do with my video to kind of enhance that, but for all intents purposes, this is supposed to be violet, which is a secondary color. So we've got our primaries, which are red, blue, and yellow. And we have our secondaries, which are violet. Let's see what comes when we mix our yellows now over the top of our red. So we're going to go in here and go over these top 2. My yellow is going to, actually this blends out really nice. The yellow, putting an intense shade over the top. Yeah, the blue might not work very well with to create a violet, but I think the yellow and the red work really well to create our secondary color of orange. So here we have an orange. And then let's go on the opposite side and see what we can do with our blue and our yellow. And when we color over the top, yeah, this works out all right too, darn it. The purple was the only one, and actually the further I look from it, the better it actually looks. It's actually looking pretty good. When I go in here and start shading, all of a sudden, with these 3 colored pencils, I have created a multitude of different shades. So this becomes my green. And my third secondary color is green. Yay! Now I wanted to show you some of the ones that fit between here, but it didn't quite work out. Let me get a different scale and show you. When I'm looking at this, here's my yellow at the top, and then over here is a blue, and over here is a red. So we break it down into those areas. Here's my green, my orange, and my violet over here. But now here's the cool part, is there's actually a third set of colors, which are called our tertiary colors, which means third. And that becomes our yellow orange, and our yellow green, and our blue green, and our blue violet, and our red violet, and our red orange. So all of those kind of combine to create tertiary colors, the third in the row. And here's a little tidbit of knowledge for you as well, is that a red orange is just a tiny bit more red than an orange red. So there are all those different sets in a Crayola coloring set. It's crazy. But when I was starting to teach, Crayola retired a couple of their tertiary colors. They don't make them anymore. And so I think it was a blue, a violet blue or a blue violet. One of those is gone. An orange red or a red orange, one of those is gone, because they were so close together and they studied what colors were popular and what colors didn't get kept and used, and they got rid of some of them. They even retired a maize, which was a color that looked like the color of corn. So that's a little bit for you guys to know about color. We're going to talk about color in our next one as well, but this is a color wheel made up of 3 colors. See what you guys can do to kind of capture those 3 colors, all 6 colors using just these 3. My name is Mr. Craig, and thank you guys for checking out this Art Smart Shorty on color. I represent the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Green Bay and the Youth Arts Initiative and all these other cool things. Hopefully you guys are staying creative and staying busy and developing your skills. We'll see you guys soon. Take care. Okay, that violet did kind of get a little messed up.